Bank of America versus Deborah J. Hart. Deborah Hart is here at the courthouse. Ms. Hart, I'm not afraid to have you come in the courtroom. It's a public courtroom, but we often use the conference room, which gives us the opportunity to put the parties in a separate video breakout room with the attorney if necessary. So that attorney in this case is attorney Natasha Dixit, who's here on behalf of Bank of America. I said this file is fat. It's an old paper file with a lot of history in it. And I set this hearing because there have been several repayment agreements, defaults on repayment agreement, another request for a repayment agreement, another default. The original debt in this case was substantial. It was north of $20,000. Defendant plaintiff filed a motion back in the spring to set aside the installment payment agreement, alleging that the debt is currently about $8,302.03. So I scheduled a hearing on March 4th, and the plaintiff didn't show up. So I denied their motion to set aside the installment payment. Then I got another one a month later. Defendant is behind by approximately 2 payments. But at this point, the arrearage is down to $7,072.03. So I set the matter for a hearing because it's very frustrating to set up a repayment agreement. She's 2 payments behind. They move to set it aside. They don't show up. A month later, they move to set it aside again, although it looks like payments have been made. Ms. Hart wrote a letter that we got on May 6th. I have since received another order, the same complaint. I am making a $250 a month payment that was ordered in July of 2019. I do not know what they want. So I'm appealing this motion. So I set it for a hearing. Ms. Dixit, what's the current status?
Yes, Judge. So the current status is, first of all, Judge, I wanted to start out by apologizing for the absence of last time. I had another attorney scheduled for this, but I think there was a mix-up and they did not appear for this, so I do apologize for that. So Ms. Hart does have a consent judgment, and through that she's making payments of $250 per month. As of today, Judge, she is still 2 payments behind for April and May. I did look at what happened. So basically, the reason she is behind, because what happened was there was a payment she made in January of 2023, and it did not go through. And I didn't see any payments made for September and November of 2023. With that said, Judge, I do want to work with her. I don't want to move to kind of set aside her payment arrangement. She does have a payment history. It just, we have a lot of files, Judge. So once they start falling behind 1 or 2 payments and, so on and so forth, we do, it is kind of like, automatic that we do request it set aside. So I do want to.
If I understand it, she missed a payment in September of 23 and January. And so they didn't get paid. So each month she makes a payment, it's a month behind. So is that why she shows as not having paid April and May because of those back payments?
Exactly, Judge, because, it does fall. Yeah. So basically what happened was in January of 2023, she did make a payment, but it did not go through. Maybe it might have been, a funding issue, maybe not enough funds there. And I see that there was no payment made in September of 2023 and November of 2023. So all that combined, Judge, it kind of just makes her further behind, basically. I would just ask Ms. Hart to kind of make those payments on time, and if you don't see that it has not gone through, if you can just call us if you have any questions about payments. So that is all, Judge. I mean, I do want to work with her, and I'm okay with her continuing this payment arrangement, but that's all I would ask, you know.
Excuse me, Judge, Your
Yes,
Honor.
go ahead.
I gave you all that paperwork or all those payments and showed you that like in January, I made a January 2nd payment. That was for the December payment. And like sometimes I have two payments in 1 month because I made.
Now, she says it was January 23 that was in arrears,
Yes,
not January 24.
Okay, well, I think you've got those, you've got all of that. I've given you like the last 3 years.
All right.
So, when I was here the last time.
Well,
Yes, sometimes they're late, but I make them up. And I don't understand why funds don't go through because they do according to my bank. So I don't know where.
I don't
that's
have
coming
anything from 20. Well, it does appear you make the payment each month in 24, but she's claiming that there are some months that didn't get paid in 23.
Yes, but I lined those all up and dated them and checked them of when they did come through, when they did pay.
Well, I don't, oh, wait a minute, I do have 23, so let's look.
Yes, you've got.
No, I have January 2nd of 2024 paid December's payment.
Right, but if you look back, I have all the payments through starting in 22, so I have, or 21, some of them.
You didn't give me that. All I have starts.
No, I did. The last time I was here, I brought a whole stack and they scanned them in. And
All right, well, let's see, the thing is so fat. Oh, all right, here it is. Here it is. They did. So it's your contention that you're not behind.
Correct. And when
Let's go through.
she said the payment didn't go through, well, according to all that statements, it did.
Judge, if I may add, to be very specific, so on the payment from January 3rd of 2023, that did go through in the amount of $250. I'm referring to the one from January 23rd of 2023. So she made two payments in January of 2023, apparently to make up for December 2022 payment. The one from January 3rd of 2023 did go through. It has been applied. The one I'm referring to is from January 23rd of 2023. In the amount of $250, that's the one that did not go through.
Well, it should be right in those records that he has. It went clear, so I don't know what the deal is.
I show a payment of January 24th for $250. I don't show a payment of January 3rd.
You're talking about this year, 24 or 23?
2023.
All right, because that would, I don't know, I had that all.
Oh, wait a minute. January 4th of 2023 is a $250 payment.
Then I believe I paid another one January 26th or somewhere in there. I don't.
January 24th. There is a January 4th.
Yes, so the one was for
Deduction.
December, and then that was the catch up for January.
All right. So there's a dispute as to missed payments. Let's see if this goes up to September and November.
It will, we've got from 21.
There's a September 15th check of $250. There's an October 19th check of $250. There's a November 14th check of $250. So according to your records, you didn't miss September or November or January.
Correct. I am finding out though, sometimes if I send my payment too soon, that the next bill I get, it says that I missed this payment. So I don't know if someone's not paying attention or, so now I just send them close to the 21st if I can, because if I send them too early, they don't seem to register them.
All right. And this is an automatic withdrawal, or did you send a physical check?
No, I send a physical check, and those are all my bank statements that they went through. Bottom line is, I am paying $250 a month.
It appears so. All right. The order to set aside the installment payment order is denied. It appears defendant is current. Ms. Dixit, I don't know if the staff they scanned all these in. We should have forwarded them to you. I don't know if you got them. But and then none of this is under oath, but what she purports to be her bank statements shows that there were regular deductions, including the months that you say weren't paid. So, and she has been making payments through 2024.
Yeah, Judge, I don't see that. The only thing, I can say is for the January 23 of 2023, it came back as insufficient funds, so we couldn't process that any further. Now, if she does have something showing, I mean, I'm not sure what we can do. This is from September and November
Well,
2023.
it will ultimately go to the final balance. If she claims she paid $750 and you claim she didn't, there's going to be a dispute when we get to the end of this. But at this point, I'm not going to set aside the installment payment order.
I understand, Judge. So I understand that, Judge. I mean, if we have received those documents, I can send it to our accounting department, and maybe there's something they can figure out.
Ms. Hart, I will forward all of your documents to Ms. Dixit's firm. In the meantime, though, the motion to set aside installment payments is denied. In fact, they're not even really asking for it now. But it looks like you've got a years-long history of making these payments. You've reduced this debt from $21,000 to $7,000 by about 2/3. $250 a month takes a long time to pay off a $20,000 debt, but you've been making diligent payments. So I set this for a hearing to get everybody here in the same place at the same time. And we did accomplish what we needed to. All right, does anybody have any questions?
No.
No, just
Ms. Hart, if you go out to the counter, I'll give you a copy of that order, and I will see that your documents get sent to the plaintiff.
Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You're good to go.
Thank you.